That's why I said Dionysius the Areopagite, because Areopagite means somebody that's at the Areopagite, a member of the court of the Areopagus. It said Mars Hill was a meeting place for the Areopagus court, the highest court in Greece for civil, criminal, and religious matters. So for religious matter, he was brought there. Makes sense, right? Because he spoke about Yahweh Shai and resurrection. So he brought him to court. That's why somebody named Dionysius the Areopagite believes. Because Dionysius the Areopagite had to be a member of that court. It says, even under Roman rule in the time of the New Testament, Mars Hill remained an important media place where philosophy, religion, and law are now discussed, right? Now you gotta look and you gotta say, well, why would this take the Apostle Paul to court? Why did it take him? All you do is preach by Yahweh Shai. When you go deeper into it, you'll find out that the Apostle Paul was actually breaking the law. You had a man that we mentioned him before, numerous occasions during this show, named Cicero. This is Wikipedia. Marcus Tullius Cicero. It says January 3rd, 106 BC, December 7th, 43 BC. Sometimes anglicized as Tully, was a Roman philosopher, politician, lawyer, orator, political theorist, consul, and constitutionalist, right? So now we know what Cicero was. This is something called that's called see if I can find it. Go up. It says the political Marcus Tullius Cicero, the political works of Marcus Tullius Cicero, Volume 2, Treatise on the Law. So this is a bunch of different laws, right? So this is a bunch of different laws, and a treatise is like a written work. So it says, let me go back. It says let's see one of these laws it was in Athens at the time. Trying to see if I can find a guy's name. Oh, okay, I see it right here. Let me go up to when it introduces him. When I first mentioned his name. It says, we shall see, it says, in Cicero's Treatise de Ligibus, say the editors, which was written 2 years later than his Commonwealth, and shortly after the murder of Clodius, he represents himself as explaining to his brother Quintus and Atticus in their walks through the woods of Arpinum the nature and origin of the laws and their actual state in Rome and other countries. So he's speaking about different laws to these people, right? So then when you go down, this is what Cicero is saying. He says, such are the following. Now Cicero was around 100 some odd BC. So he was around, he died 43 BC, so over 100 years before Paul even was born. Right? So when you go down, it says, such are the following. Approach the gods with purity, appear before them in the spirit of devotion, remove riches from their temples. Whoever doeth otherwise shall suffer the vengeance of heaven. Let no one have private gods, neither new gods nor strange gods, unless publicly acknowledged, are to be worshipped privately. Let the temples which the fathers have constructed in the cities be upheld. So that's the main point. It says, let no one have private gods, neither new gods nor strange gods, unless publicly acknowledged, are to be worshipped privately. So what have we known? Marcus Tullius, no one can have private gods or new gods or strange gods unless those gods are publicly acknowledged. Are to be worshipped privately. So you couldn't have no type of private god, no strange gods, no new gods unless it was publicly acknowledged. That's why when you read the book of Acts 17th chapter, it says, what we may know this new doctrine. Because they haven't heard about Yahweh Shai in Athens. So they're like, wait a minute. He's speaking about Yahweh Shai and resurrection. He's talking some strange things unto us. As we mentioned before in the previous verse. It says he seemed to be a set forth a strange God because he's speaking of Yahweh Shai and resurrection. So they took him and brought him to the Areopagus, which is a court, a civil court, a religious court. And they said, we want to know this new doctrine that you're speaking of. Because according to the law, it says that you ain't supposed to have no new gods, no strange gods, and no private gods. So what is this God you're talking about? Let's bring him to the court and see what this is about. That's why I said Dionysius the Areopagite believed, because he was a member of the court. If he was a member of the court, how the hell is he going to believe? Because the Apostle Paul was at the court. He was taken to the court because he broke the law. You know? So let's jump down to the last verse. And the webpage is called, you'll see it in post-production. So let's jump down to the last verse. It says, Acts 17:34, howbeit certain men clave unto him and believed, among the which was Dionysius the Areopagite, and a woman named Damaris, and others with them. So you have people who believed back then, you got people who believe now. That's the ancient house of Constance. So some of them guys are going to believe and come out of it. They don't got to be one of the top guys, but somebody out of it going to believe and come out of it. People upon all different philosophies going to believe and come out of that madness and come to the truth. And with that, we finished the show, the whole chapter, Acts 17th chapter, and all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shah, double honor to the elders of GMS, and shalom to the brother up there, pushing the truth and truth sincerity. Shalom.